We are awash in post-game punditry, dueling spin, and angry finger-pointing in the wake of the first presidential debate, watched by a record 84 million people. That prompted a wide array of questions for Kellyanne Conway, Donald Trump's campaign manager. We spoke earlier from Trump Tower. Kellyanne Conway, welcome.
Hi, Howie. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Several unnamed Trump advisors told the New York Times that they don't feel the candidate paid enough attention during debate prep, that he was erratic in the debate, that they're frustrated and disappointed. What does it say that some of your own people are saying this anonymously to reporters?
Well, I think he did a fine job at the debate. I actually think he had a great, strong punches at Hillary Clinton about her record on trade, certainly on helping to create the vacuum in which ISIS then appeared and has been doing its damage, its murder ever since. I also thought that, what you saw in the debate on Monday night was there's no mistaking who represents the past, who represents the future, who represents the status quo, who represents change, who the true disruptor outsider is, who represents Washington. So none of that changes with one debate, and we look forward to the future debates. All
right, well, that was a nice pivot, but let me come back to my question, because Donald Trump tweeted this on Friday. Anytime you see a story about me or my campaign saying sources said, do not believe it. There are no sources. They just made up lies. Can you seriously tell me that nobody in your campaign talks on background or off the record to reporters?
I don't know, because I don't know what other people do, but I will tell you that this place is very unified.
After Hillary Clinton, in the debate, brought up the former Miss Universe, Alicia Machado, who says that Donald Trump called her Miss Piggy 20 years ago, he brought her up on Fox and Friends the next day, said she needed to lose weight, and then in the early morning hours of Friday, Donald Trump tweeted this: did crooked Hillary help disgusting, check out sex tape and past, Alicia M. become a U.S. citizen so she could use her in the debate? He is fueling the media coverage of this story. Why does he continue to attack this woman?
So here are the facts, though. He did not say she had to lose weight. What he said was, what the fact is that the company that was in charge, as I understand it, I wasn't involved 20 years ago, as I understand it, they wanted to terminate her, and he helped give her a second chance. Hannity on his radio show on Friday played a clip where he basically is saying some people had a problem with her weight. I did not, as I understand it. So he actually gave her a second chance, and it's just, Hillary Clinton wanted to throw this in there in the last couple of minutes of the debate, and I know she had a checklist she wanted to run through. That was part of it, and we'll just keep moving on. I know people want to continue to talk about this, but he also does a lot of other things day by day, like go out and talk to actual voters and talk about policy, and nobody seems to want to cover that. It's just more fun to look at a Twitter feed or to try to do some zingers.
Well, my point was that the media were talking about it because Donald Trump continued to tweet about it. Let me ask you about another comment he made. This was not on Twitter. Donald Trump said the debate was rigged, according to the role of moderator Lester Holt. Do you believe the debate was rigged?
So Donald Trump, I think he's been looking at some of the data since the debate. We see objective analyses that he was interrupted 41 times, and then he feels. I know today the commission put out that his microphone was faulty in the hall. I just saw that report on Friday, and so I think what surprised him is the number of questions that related to things about Donald Trump, and then, it's conspicuous by his absence, the emails, unless he raised it, Benghazi certainly, Obamacare, which has been a disaster for many Americans.
Let me see if I can get some more questions in, a couple about the media. So last Sunday, the New York Times, the LA Times, the Washington Post, and Politico all ran stories about what they described as the lies, and in some cases half-truths and exaggerations, that Donald Trump had told just in the past week. How do you fight that kind of media narrative?
Well, it's amazing that Donald Trump does as well as he does, Howie, and is still standing given the onslaught. And I would note that those stories all followed a full court press by Team Clinton to make sure everybody is fact-checking and everybody is calling him out. I mean, my goodness, Hillary Clinton has 5 people taking the fifth. They've been granted immunity in an active investigation, including her lawyer, Cheryl Mills, who was granted immunity and then turned around and was her lawyer in the same investigation. So it's very frustrating, but I actually think the voters look right through it. There's not a lot of evidence that the way the campaign is being covered is the way that voters see it. And if that weren't true, then Hillary Clinton would be winning with 85, 87% of the vote. If you look at the coverage, look, people can scream bias and unfairness. That's one thing, and that will be obvious or not so obvious to the naked eye and ear. But the main point about the coverage this time is that it's incomplete. It's that for every 15 stories you have about something Donald Trump said or did, you have no story, or you have one story, for example, on the immunity. Why wasn't there more outrage about Howard Dean, a former governor and a former presidential candidate and current analyst on a different network, suggesting that Donald Trump was using cocaine? Oh my goodness!
Well, I've criticized that, and Dean finally apologized.
Wow.
Trump said at the end of the debate that he wasn't going to say something extremely rough about Hillary Clinton, which he later said was a reference to Bill Clinton's past sexual misconduct. But he did talk about it after the debate, and your surrogates are out there talking about it, and now the media are covering it. So aren't you kind of having it both ways on this question of sex scandals?
We're not. He could have done it in front of a debate stage of, what, 88 million or so people, and we knew that she was going to attack among women because that's what she does. How in the world could she miss the chance? She kind of, rushed to get through it at the very end, we noticed. But, of course, she's got mail pieces targeting women. She has tens of millions of dollars in negative ads. Those ads don't talk about her plan for health care and education and defeating radical Islam. It couldn't do that. She doesn't call it that. Or lowering our taxes. But she goes right after on him on this issue, so of course he was prepared for that. He was ready for that, but he decided, and he gets no credit for being gracious.
I'm running out of time. You said that you advised him not to go down the Monica Lewinsky road. Do you think that's a distraction at this point?
No, did I say that?
You seem to say it on The View.
Oh, no, they asked me, what do you think about this? And the fact is that, first of all, he makes his own decisions as to what he's going to say. Sure. He's the candidate, and he is his own person. So let me just begin there. Secondly, we knew that she would hit him with women. There was no question about that. There are many ways to answer that question, by the way, and I'll do it right now. Mr. Trump has employed thousands of women and promoted many of them to the most senior positions in his corporation and certainly his campaign. He has been very generous with his time and his money to any number of people over his life and in his career, and he actually has policies that would help women. Why isn't Hillary Clinton asked why 60 million women are in poverty, why over 12 million don't have health care benefits? That's the real question for women.
Kellyanne Conway, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.